Hello, this is Michael with Bay Area Attractions. Today we're at California's Great America, and we're going to talk about what I call the rides that have come and gone. So these are rides that came after opening day, but are no longer here. There's not a lot on our list. There's a couple. We got about 7 rides that we're going to talk about, and we're actually going to talk about them in order. So we're going to talk about the oldest ride that was here after opening day, and then work our way through the years or what. Actually, I have 2 rides I'm going to talk about briefly. I could not find a lot of information about these rides. I don't believe they were here opening day, so that's why they're on this list. And if you guys know of these rides, have pictures, videos, I can even find videos or pictures of these rides, and very little information. So if you do know anything about these, either leave a comment down below, or if you have pictures or videos or what, you can email me. My email's in the description, but it's bayareaattractions1@gmail.com. So the first of 2 rides that I have listed, the first one was called Hilltopper. All I could find was that it was removed in 1984, and they called it a Himalayan flat ride. And when I looked that up, what that is, it's a ride similar, for those of you guys go to the boardwalk, if you know Tsunami, it's that kind of type of ride is what that is. And that's all the information I basically have on that ride. Our next ride, we're gonna talk about is a Saskatoon Scrambler. That one ride was removed in 1991. It was originally located in Yukon Territory, and then later moved to County Fair. It was called Industrial Revolution. A Scrambler ride is something like Liberty Twirl. That's here at the park today. That's what they call a Scrambler ride. All right, next we're gonna basically officially kick off our list or what. I gotta go to the other side of the park, over into what was Yankee Harbor, which is right where Mass Effect is. In fact, this ride was right by Mass Effect. It was a very popular ride. It was here for about 25 years before it was taken out. It was one of the first rides actually in the park after opening day, and that ride is the Tidal Wave, which was located just behind the Mass Effect building. The Tidal Wave, which was later renamed Grease Lightning, was here in the park between 1977 and 2002. The train was launched out of the station at a speed between 50 to 60 miles per hour before passing through a vertical loop and up a 136-foot tall spike. Once the momentum of the train ran out on the spike, the train began to travel the track backwards, returning through the loop. The train then passed back through the station, going up another steep spike, would stand at 101 feet, until it stalled again and rolled back into the station. The ride was removed in 2002. I think the Tidal Wave had probably one of the best queue lines of any of the rides in the park. It had like this beach scene out front with sand. It had boats. It had other nautical themed items out there. And then the other cool thing was along the track, they had these waves, and at night they lit up. For our next ride, we're gonna head over to County Fair. The Edge opened in 1983 and closed in 1995, and is located where Psycho Mouse is today. 4 riders are loaded into a gondola-type car at the station. The gondola is then moved backwards horizontally to the rear base of the lift tower, and then climbs vertically to the top of the tower. Once there, it slides forward and hangs over the drop track for a few seconds. Without warning, the car is released and riders drop 60 feet in less than 2 seconds before experiencing the deceleration as the cars enter a pull-out curve, which transitions the vertical fall into a horizontal brake. The riders are then on their backs. Once it stops at the end of the run, the gondola moves in reverse, traveling below the brake run track and back to the station. Most of these types of drop rides have been removed and replaced with taller drop rides like Drop Tower. For our next ride, we're gonna head back to Yankee Harbor, and it's also the only ride on our list where you can see where the ride was. And right over here is where that ride was. It was called Revolution. And you can see This is where the entrance was, the stairs down, and then the ride was actually right over the water right here. Revolution, it was later known as HMB Endeavor, was here in the park between 1987 and 2017, here in what was Yankee Harbor. The ride was shaped like a boat and swung back and forth to gain speed. The ride would then go upside down a few times, then start to slow down, but still swung back and forth until it stopped. For our next ride, we're gonna head over to Hometown Square. Our next ride was located right here where the 3-point challenge is today, and that ride was called Skyhawk. Skyhawk opened in 1989. Skyhawk is a flight trainer that carried riders approximately 60 feet in the air in flight cabins. The cabins were attached to arms, and riders could rotate their cabins manually 360 degrees. Riders could flip themselves upside down nearly the entire ride, or just enjoy the view in an upright position. Skyhawk was removed in 1995. Our next ride is just right over here where Railblazer is today, and that ride was called Invertigo. Invertigo opened in 1998 and is an inverted shuttle roller coaster where riders sit face to face, staring at fellow passengers through the course of the ride. The train completes the circuit twice, running in the opposite direction as it returns to the station. This gives riders the opportunity to experience the ride in both directions, moving forwards and backwards. The ride begins when the train is pulled backwards from the station up a lift hill. It is held for several seconds before releasing riders, sending them 55 miles per hour through the loading station. The train then enters a cobra roll element that transitions into a vertical loop. Upon exiting the loop, the train climbs a second lift hill, making it most of the way up on its own momentum. Once towards the top, the train is quickly released, sending riders through the ride in reverse before being caught by the first lift hill and returning to the loading station. The ride was removed and relocated in 2011. Our last two rides are located on the other side of the park, so we're gonna head over there right now. Stealth was located just kind of behind me where South Bay Shores is today. Stealth was only in the park for 3 years between 2000 and 2003. It was billed as the world's first flying coaster. Once riders were seated and restrained, the train tilted backwards into a lay-down position. The train traveled backwards out of the station, turned left, and traveled up a 115-foot lift hill. Once the train reached the top of the lift hill, it dipped down and turned the trains upside down into a flying position where riders faced the ground. After the twist, the train traveled down the first drop, reaching speeds of 51 miles per hour. Riders then went through an overbanked horseshoe curve element, entered a vertical loop, then 2 consecutive corkscrews before making a right turn into the brake station. Stealth was removed and relocated in 2003. For our last ride on our list, it was actually located right behind me where Liberty Twirler is today, and it was called Firefall. Firefall was in the park between 2008 and 2016. The ride featured a wall of water fountains which rose in front of a vehicle as it swung, giving the illusion that riders may get wet. Its finale sequence featured bubbling water that eventually caught fire. The ride was removed in 2016. Well, that does it for our list of rides that have coming on. Hopefully you enjoyed this list. Maybe it brought back some memories, and maybe a few of these were some of your favorite rides when you used to come to Great America. Stay tuned, I'm gonna have one more list. It's gonna be the rides that came after opening day that are still here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And if you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button as we do new videos about different attractions around the Bay Area all the time. Until next time, this is Michael with Bay Area Attractions.